Hi, I'm Gma Bonnie, and today I want to show you how to make these adorable heart bags. They come in 3 different sizes. You have the large size, which is made in a 7.9 square hoop. The medium one, which is in a 5x7 hoop. And the small ones that are in a 4x4 hoop. Each one of these patterns call for personalization on the back. So let's get started. We're going to start, and I'm going to demonstrate the one that is done in the 5x7 hoop. So what you're going to need is a 5x7 hoop. You're going to need some tearaway stabilizer. You're also going to need a nice 100% cotton. I found this pretty quilting fat flannel with kind of a mottled look, so we're going to use that. You also need thread to match the fabric, and you also need the bobbin to match the thread, and a contrasting color for your wordings. You will also need ribbon for the hanger, and some tape to just attach the ribbon temporarily, and some spray adhesive, and the media that your machine calls for. In this case, I use a USB drive. Okay, so all bags are made totally in the hoop, so let's get started. Okay, so first let's go ahead and download our files. And the first file you're going to download is your actual pattern file. It's called Heart Bag Pattern. So you're going to hoop a piece of paper, and you're going to go to your machine, and you're just going to stitch out this pattern file. Once you get it stitched out, you're going to cut that on the outside of your stitching, making sure that you leave all your stitching intact. So once you do that, you have this pattern. So you have this pattern. Now what I want you to do is to fold your fabric wrong sides together. So fold it wrong side together so you have 2 hearts. Put your pattern on, and I want you to cut out 2 hearts, which we have done here. So now we've got 2 hearts ready to be sewn onto the actual bag. Okay, so now we're going to go to the machine. Okay, so first of all, you want to hoop a piece of heavyweight tearaway stabilizer, and then you're going to bring in the heart bag back in the editing mode because you want to personalize this. So we will go ahead and we're going to put a name in this. So let's just put okay, so now as you can see, I've got the names in, so it's To Gem from Bonnie, and I'm actually going to start sewing. So the first thing that's going to sew out is the placement line for the heart. Okay, so now this is the placement line that we just stitched out. So what we're going to do is we're going to put some adhesive on the back of the one pattern that we cut out. And in this case, I'm going to kind of protect it and just get the adhesive on the back, on the edges. So we're going to go ahead and put adhesive on here. And notice I've protected my workspace with a piece of paper so that I don't get adhesive everywhere. Now you want to put this fabric so that it covers all of the lines. Make sure that all your stitching line is covered. So it's very important that you have this on so you got it so that when it stitches, it's going to catch everything. So just check and make sure everything's where it should be. And now we'll go back to the machine. Okay, so now I've stitched all the way along with the tack down stitch. And notice that there are some things that are outside of the stitch line that we need to get away. So we're going to cut very closely to the stitch line so that will be covered with our satin stitch. Okay, so once you've got that all done, the next thing you're going to do is to actually stitch the top of your bag. So that'll be our next stitch. Okay, so once you've got that all done, the next thing you're going to do is to actually stitch the top of your bag. So that'll be our next stitch. Okay, so color 3 and 4 completed the satin stitch at the top. So the next thing that we're going to do is the actual words. So I changed my color to the contrasting color, in this case white, and now we're going to go ahead and stitch out both the to, the love, and the names that you put on using your machine's alphabet. Okay, so now I'm finished with this one, and this is the back. Remember, it's very important to do the back of the bag first. And I've switched now to my front. I've went ahead and I've hooped my tearaway, and I've sewn out my placement stitch. So once I've got this placement stitch sewn out, I'm ready to put the fabric on just as I did before. So I'm going to spray the fabric and put it down and be back to the machine. Okay, so this process is exactly the same as the back. First we're going to tack down the fabric. I'm going to pull away anything that's outside of the fabric area and cut it away, and then I'm going to go ahead and stitch the satin stitch at the top for the opening. Okay, so now I've finished the actual satin stitch that makes the top of the bag, and I'm ready to do the words. So once the words are done, we'll put the bag together. I'll show you how to put the bag together. Okay, so now we have this front done, and we're ready to put them together, the back and the front. So let's go ahead and take away the tearaway from the back that you'd set aside. And if you pull a few of these little stitches out, that's okay. That's not going to hurt anything, as long as your top is still good. These other stitches just was holding it on. So now let's go ahead and on a Turkish towel, we will just press the back and get it ready to put to the front. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to turn the hoop over and rest it on a book. If you've got a book that'll fit in your hoop. That way you won't take a chance on disturbing the hooping at all. And you want to take your ribbon that you've cut and you want to put it on right at the edge of the satin stitch, and you can just tape it on at the outside, right at the edge of the satin stitch on both sides. Okay, you've got that on. Now that you've got that on, what you want to do is take your back and place it right side down. Trim away anything that you don't want to be in the way, and you're going to put some adhesive on it. And you're going to set it right side up on make sure you're covering all of your stitches. Make sure all your stitches get covered. And once you've got that ready to go, we're ready to go back to the machine. Okay, so now I've replaced the red thread because this is going to now complete the bag. You're going to satin stitch around the rest of the bag, and it'll hold the back to the front. So the first thing it's going to do is a zigzag stitch around, and then it'll come back and it'll satin stitch. So you've actually got two color changes that you're going to go through, and then your bag will be completed. Okay, so now we've got it off the machine, and we're going to take it out of the hoop. So undo your tape, take it out of the hoop, and you can go ahead and take the tearaway away from it. And this is what you end up with. A cute little bag that can be used for any kind of gifts. It can be used for candy, it can be used for jewelry. They would make beautiful wedding type things with the name and date. Lots and lots of things for any special occasion with these cute little heart bags. So log on to gmabonnie.com for the information and to purchase any of these designs. Go under Embroidery Designs, click on In the Hoop. Remember, each design comes with a free PDF with instructions for completing the project, a text file that explains all the color changes and has other directions you might need for the design itself. Here at G Ma Bonnie's, we hope you enjoyed this tutorial and have fun with all your sewing projects.